Yeah, thanks to Tizen, now our revenue's sitting pretty at $23.70.
Oh, I wasn't expecting to unmute at that part, but okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
Tizen.
Tizen. Look at that.
So we get to watch Steve eat again. Delicious. Make sweet mouth love to that wrap. I have not poked him in the eye yet. Wait, how many times? Wait, wasn't it the subs? I was supposed to poke you in the eye for subs, right? Or shares. That's what it was. I don't know how many shares there were. I should have poked you in the eye yesterday.
I want a refund. Tizen, you're too much. Appreciate you, brother.
I had the perfect opportunity to do it yesterday. I didn't even think about it. I smacked him in the dick.
Thank you for sharing that.
I believe twice, actually.
Oh God. Anyway, so hello everybody. Happy Wednesday. So one of the things I actually wanted to do to get us started. Have you ever heard of Madrinas?
No, I have not.
Madrinas. Just look up Madrinas Coffee. Google it. Should be the first link. And or just like madrinas.com.
Am I supposed to be looking that up now?
Yep.
Can I show
Pop up a screen?
Can I show it on?
Yeah. If you want to. This is something I literally just discovered. Maybe like 40 minutes ago.
Fix your camera real quick before I switch screens.
But they pretty much it's pretty much something along the lines of like G-Force and like those energy scoop things, but it's like coffee.
Okay.
But they also do like lemonades, limeades, or different things. But they have like Halo, Cyberpunk. Like in the Halo one, they have a coffee. They have a Halo collector's box, which comes with a Master Chief shaker. They have a one that I really want to try. It's the Blood Gulch.
We are not sponsored by him, by them.
We're not. This just looks fucking delicious. Valhalla Vanilla Bourbon. So it's pretty much like Sanka. You remember Sanka?
Yeah.
It's like that, but modernized, I guess. But yeah, like they got these like Master Chief ones. They got Cyberpunk. They got the white chocolate mocha.
Interesting.
Like Dead by Daylight.
Mystery Sale.
A blackberry lemonade from Age to promote Age Runners. Oh, they have a New World Ethereum one. Corrupted salted caramel. I assume it's just like the same thing. Like I assume it's like a lot of the same flavors because there's like another salted caramel one I just found. They have a Mega Man version. They have a roller coaster tycoon one. Like
interesting.
I thought it was a pretty neat thing. So like I figure whenever
their prices are pretty good too.
Yeah, that's another thing I was looking at. I'm like, it's not too shabby.
How many?
Hi, Raven.
Hi, Raven. How many servings do you get out of a 24? 90 milligrams. Doesn't say. Nutritional state. Oh. One scoop, 25 servings. That's roughly a month's worth. It's not bad. Maybe I'll do that the next time I order instead of my standard. Try them out. Mystery tub.
Well, that's why I want to bring it up to you because I know you like them shaker drinks.
Yeah, I do. I don't like coffee though. I don't like to start my day with bitterness. They already do that enough as it is.
Huh.
Mega Man. There you go. Mega Man mocha. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
I can't do like chocolate savory drinks. I just can't.
Yeah.
Rocket Pop, sure. Funnel cake.
They have the Cyberpunk Edge Runners. The blackberry lemonade one looks good.
You can do that. White chocolate mocha. Ooh.
Isn't that like the opposite of white chocolate?
Yeah. Caramel. It's a lot of savory flavors. I'm not complaining. Yeah. Sour green apple. I would probably be here. I would be like blue raspberry, green apple, cherry, Miami Vice. Have you ever had a Miami Vice?
Mm-mm.
It's a strawberry daiquiri and a pina colada mixed together.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're good. They're really good.
Yeah, like when you put like the color of the fruit in front of the name of the fruit as a flavor, that's usually my go-to. Like blue raspberry, black cherry, green apple,
black cock.
Thank you.
Cherry limeade. I could totally do cherry limeade. You don't like chickens, Steve? You don't like roosters?
Yeah, that's what you were talking about.
Big roosters.
You suck.
Cherry blossom. Do they have like a got regular like what should we call it? Coffee. Do they have like a mystery, or not a mystery, but like a sample pack? I'd totally be into a sample pack. Alden, what's up, brother?
Yeah, they have. They also sell like the boba stuff. If you want to make like a milk tea or boba tea or something, I think they have like stuff like that you can get as well.
It's pretty interesting. So I'm going to put this out here. It's completely unrelated to whatever we're actually going to end up talking about, but it's something that I've noticed, like going through things. Like there's engagement bait. There's this thing called engagement bait. You know what it is?
I assume it's synonymous with clickbait.
Sort of, kinda. So engagement bait is when people are having a serious okay, so like in Quora, right? You ask a question, right? Like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, right? And that question will be on Quora for 6 months, 7 months, a year. It'll sit there. Nobody will fucking touch it. If you go on there as a secondary account and you give a wrong answer of like the bubblegum and Tootsie Pop sucks, people will immediately jump on behind that and just start correcting you. That's called engagement bait. So what they figured is, people have figured out that when you make like content to say things wrong.
I see what you're saying.
So like, instead of saying like Des Moines, Iowa, they'll say like Des Moines. And it immediately like gets people to just click and chat and when I see that,
is that not how it's pronounced?
No, it's Des Moines.
I've been calling it Demoist this whole time.
Demoist. Just like Chicago, Illinois but everybody pronounces it fucking wrong. It's Illinois.
Is it Illinois?
But yeah, so I as a recommendation to everybody, all of our listeners, bless you.
Thank you.
You just did a dip. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
You dip on them.
dip on them haters, right? That's what the kids say nowadays, something like that.
Is it like a dip or what? No, it's
a dab, you ass.
See, and that's exactly a perfect explanation, because I knew it was a dab. I was being a smart ass and I said a dip because I wanted somebody to get in there and fucking correct me.
Well done.
But as a recommendation, I think anybody, if you're ever watching a video and somebody says something like obviously wrong, skip it immediately. Just fucking get off, because it's clickbait. It's clickbait garbage. They're just trying to get your engagement. It's engagement bait.
Terrible.
So rant.
Terrible.
Over. I just figured I'd start the day with a rant since we're starting early. There's my rant.
That's exactly what I did earlier. I started a rant with something similar, because I was talking about how so I have an alternative line of income, we'll call it that for now. And but like, because I am in that line of work, I sometimes come across people who also are in that line of work. So, but I've noticed that there are people on there who post stupid shit that say things like, oh, say hi, comment hi, and I'll send you a picture in your DMs, and it's usually
it's engagement bait.
Yeah, and you have this plethora of this ridiculous number of guys that are just saying it's just hi, and all these people falling for it. It's how it just blows my mind that
willful stupidity.
Yeah,
like the internet was created last night.
What's that?
It's like the internet was created last night. The old saying goes, I was born last night, or I was born at night, and so that last night. Nah, people are willfully stupid. Just like this entire situation with the LA riots and all that stuff. And I told you flat out, if they're fucking advertising it, then it's a fucking honeypot. Did you watch that where the guy was breaking it down?
Well, on the videos you sent me?
Yeah. Were the entire time they were recording GPS information, cell phone movements, datas, tower pings, all that stuff. And these people were just walking around right into it. They were you are involuntarily a fucking test subject, and people are just doing it. The more the time goes by, dude, the more I'm just going to get rid of my cell phone and all my electronics. I'm over it. I got to figure out towards that point. I got to figure out how to willfully not participate anymore.
But see, that's the thing. They got us over a freaking a barrel, because we depend on these things.
Yeah.
Like cell phones, computers, television.
Do we depend on them? I think we depend on them too much.
We do.
I think we depend.
We don't. It's technically not a necessity, right?
Right.
But it's
we have adopted a codependent relationship with a device.
Yeah. We're pretty much borged into this way of thinking, God forbid we go to work and we leave our phone at home, or if we leave it in the car when we go out.
I always liked that at one of the jobs that I had. It was a requirement that you were not allowed to bring your job on the floor until a nightclub got involved. And nightclubs, they usually do targeted advertising. So they want their employees to post pictures and post shit on Instagram because it looks like they're having so much fun, but it was to get people to come out and shit like that. And the club was one of them. You weren't allowed to have your cell phone on the floor, but the girls had to post pictures and stuff at the club. So there was an allotted amount of time where they could do that.
So can I be on my phone or can I not?
No, you're not allowed to.
Yeah, it's. I can't. I can't. I just can't. I can't. I just.
So what did you want to talk about today? Because what was it? What was it that you? Because we're 5 minutes from our normal start. So what is it that you wanted to dig into?
Oh, there's actually one thing I wanted to bring up. It's pretty much just like, what do you think is my best quality?
Your feet.
No, the one thing I wanted to get into that I thought was an interesting idea was
your dashing personality.
What was it called?
Let's start with a P. Rocks.
Shut up. What is something that I sent to you, and I was like, oh, I think this is going to be an interesting topic to bring up.
Palantir. I can't forget it because I've been fucking researching it since you started talking about it.
Yeah, I came across it and I was like, this might be an interesting topic to bring up on the show. A
company that everybody's heard about, but everybody knows nothing about.
Yeah, so I did a bit of digging on it as well. Okay. From what I could tell, it's just a data analytics company, tech company, and they do some military side of tech stuff as well as like commercial. But I know you do like deep dives. So
yeah.
So what did you find on that?
I found that most of the articles on 4chan were deleted, which is always interesting.
Articles on
4chan.
Articles on 4chan about Palantir. Really?
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Their topic points were archived, but everything else was deleted from them. That's always an interesting standout. But so whenever it comes to a subject like this, one of the first things that I do is I'll talk to people about it, get what they feel about it. I'll do my own research. And my dad kind of brought up, because I was asking him, I was like, what do you think about it? Because I'll be completely transparent here. I'm invested in them. I'm invested in them because they're a growth stock, and their stock has grown. I think we bought it at $27 and now it's $134. I am not giving financial advice. Do not use me for a financial advice, and any decision you make financially is of your own accord and responsibility. I'm just being transparent that I do own a part of the company. Not a part of the company, but I own stock in the company. My dad said, as we were talking about it, yes, they are a data analysis company, and they are quite proficient at their data analysis. But just because a company has a military tie doesn't necessarily mean it's an evil or bad company. And I know where that sentiment's coming from him, because my grandfather was originally worked for GE, General Electric, and pretty much GE is the basis of every engine that's in an airplane in the military since. And most high-powered, high-caliber weapons are made by GE. And like I've talked about on this platform before with my grandfather and his military ties. Are wars bad? Yes. Do I agree with them? No. Do I think that this Iran thing, I don't agree with it whatsoever. I think we should not be interventionist, and I don't think that we should be the world police. Do we need military contracts to protect our homeland? Yes, we do. When we need the best and the brightest and the greatest of all companies to be out there at the forefront of it. So one of the big problems, and this is I'm not I'm going into the speculation territory. From all the data and everything that I've been reading and everything that I've been pulling together, it kind of like it clicked in my brain. And welcome back, Halden. One of the big problems that we have in the United States is that our information bases are decentralized in a bad way, because I think the centralization of information is not necessarily a bad thing. The centralization of some things, that's another, I won't go off on that tirade, but if I have a license in the state of New Jersey, right? I can go and get a license in the state of Pennsylvania, and it's an honor system for me to turn my license in from New Jersey. I don't have to. Okay. When you sign up for unemployment in a specific state, right? It's on an honor system that you are transparent, that you are not collecting unemployment from another state. But legitimately, you can do that. Because the people who are not transparent, the people who are not honest and trustworthy, are the ones that are going to do those things.
Yeah.
That being said, if you're registered to vote in one state and you can be registered to vote in another state, you could vote technically multiple times. And there's no organization that's going to check that against itself. And one of the big things that Trump said that he wanted to get involved in, that he wanted to sort out, was voter rolls. He wants to get the dead people off the voter rolls. He wants to get the people who are voting multiple times, people voting in multiple under the same name in different areas. Now, I can tell you right now, just in the state of New Jersey, because my son and my dad all have the exact same name. When I went to go vote the other day in the primary, they didn't know that I wasn't John from 1957. The guy even almost said, he's like, you look all young for your age. I'm like, bro, I'm the 85. Like, come on. Oh, sure. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Now, that wouldn't have been a problem if I was supposed to show my license. We're not talking about voting for Trump. I'm talking about something else. We're talking about Palantir and data collection. So, and mind you, also digging into this, Palantir got most of its military contracts under the Biden administration in 2022. So this has already been in the wheels. It's already been turning for the past 3 years. It's just coming to fruition now. But it's interesting to see. I can't tell. I don't know what they're doing. I know that Foundry, all Foundry is, which is their main AI platform, all it does is just organize data and just make sure that it's legible and able to be read. And it doesn't do anything with it. It's not algorithmic. It doesn't put it somewhere. What people may do with it after that point is subject to see, because that's whatever the government's going to end up doing with it. But it itself does nothing but basically take huge data tables and be able to sort it all out. Now, they have two products. They have Foundry and they have something else. The something else I didn't look into, to be completely honest. But if you want to kind of go into some of the articles that I was looking at.
Gotham, that's the other one. Gotham. This right here, key points. The headline of Snopes is Palantir creating a national database of U.S. citizens? They don't weigh in. They don't say yes, no, negative, maybe, slightly true. They don't weigh in at all.
What they do.
You said do.
In late 2025, New York Times article detailed a supposed combined effort between U.S. federal government and data analysis software company Palantir to centralize data on American citizens, which I think ties into the Real ID, also something that's been around for way longer than people even realize. Palantir rebutted the allegations in the statement on X in a blog post, arguing that the New York Times story overstated Palantir's ties to the Trump administration, particularly in the cost-cutting department of DOJ, and that the company does not collect data to unlawfully surveil Americans. One of the things that I think is actually incredibly interesting is the fact that all of the data centers that the Patriot Act initially set up throughout the country have been slowly dismantled, quietly dismantled. Granted, we don't use landline telephones anymore, so that's probably why they're being pulled out of phone centers. But if we are transitioning, dude, yes. Thank you. If we are transitioning from phone teledata to online and that kind of stuff, and so like emails and cellular and like documents, then
yeah. I don't think I've like, now that you mention it, like I don't think anybody has, like, even when I had an apartment, we didn't have a landline. We just had our cell phones.
Yeah, most people in our generation do.
And even with the cable, like we're just like, fuck cable, like everything's streaming now. So
using USA Spending, a public available database for federal government spending, Snopes found that Palantir received between 228 million and 542 million in government contracts per between years 2020 and 2024. That straddles a specific presidential term.
Yeah.
Mostly with the Defense Department. While we were not able to confirm the details of all these contracts, some departments and agencies reportedly use Palantir's Foundry product for data management. Comments from former DOJ figurehead Elon Musk implied that one of the initiative's goals is to compile and centralize data on American citizens. DOJ could easily use Palantir's powerful data tools to construct such a database or create connections between existing government data. A March executive order and 2 June Supreme Court rulings would also help facilitate that work. Oh, that's interesting. This is June. We found no evidence that Palantir itself was compiling any master database as social media posts claimed. Now, that's because they aren't the program that collects the data. They are the program that sorts the data. Does that make sense?
Yes. Sort of like how when I used to work at Amazon, I wasn't at a fulfillment center, I was at a sort center.
Yes.
So here's my thing. Like there are billions of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, if you have a social security number, your data is out there somewhere. Unless you're completely off the grid,
mm-hmm.
someone's got your name, at the very least, your name and address, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
There is so much data out there that
we put out voluntarily, by the way.
Yeah. And I think we had this conversation before about I think when we spoke about human consciousness, and if we think it's going to be, they're going to be able to put a consciousness onto like a hard drive and then like upload it to a robot, and it's like, boom, now I have robot hands. This is weird, you know. But the thing is, so the largest, because I just looked this up, the largest hard drive that you can get is only 36 terabytes with a 60 terabyte model in development. In
single use, but in RAID use, you can make a hard drive. You know what RAID is, right? In RAID configuration.
I'm assuming it's just a bunch of them daisy chained together.
Essentially, they're all daisy chained and they just operate as one. You can have them. That size is exponential.
You can get up to like petabytes and shit.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was curious about, because like I would imagine.
I mean, if you want to talk about some wild shit, look into the NVIDIA spine. That is something that they just came out with, which NVIDIA spine.
What the hell?
Yeah, bud.
NVLink.
NVLink 5.0, the latest iteration of NVIDIA's high-speed interconnected delivering nearly double the throughput of its predecessor.
Welcome to the AI superhighway.
Yep. This is like a hair away from like quantum computing level stuff. Hold on a second. I got to yell at my kids.
All right. This thing is wild. Over 900 terabytes a second. So they're saying this thing can move over 900 terabytes a second of data. Wow.
I'm back. Did you hear all that?
This thing can move over 900 terabytes of data in a second.
Yeah. Here's the problem with because I know we've talked about this before, but we don't know what consciousness is. They can't capture it. They have no idea where it lies, what it is. Is it in the amygdala? Is it I said the amygdala yesterday about your memory. That's wrong. It's hippocampus. Hippocampus is your memory.
Yeah.
Is it in the hippocampus? Is it in the microtubules of the fucking brain stem? We don't have any idea where consciousness exists. And this is something that I've speculated for a very long time, is once you look at your own consciousness, you can never look away from it. Where were you prior to being born? Where do you go afterwards? Have you ever blacked out? Have you ever blacked out?
Yeah.
Where were you?
I've passed out. I was
No. In the period of being knocked out, where were you?
Yeah. Where'd I go?
Yeah, where did you go?
I was, if I remember correctly, this is a while ago. I was laying down. I think I was laying down in my bed. But it was like a different room. There was like bright blue walls. I remember that. There's a room. That's pretty much what I remember from it. Because I hate to admit this is going to make me sound like a bitch, but I was getting blood drawn, and I passed out because
that's not being a bitch. That's called vasovagal. It's a normal response. It happened to me.
Yeah, I was also like told to fast and only drink water and stuff for like 24 hours before, and I was also running on like no sleep.
That's because of a rapid blood glucose drop, and your body goes into a panic mode. Did you wake up sweating?
Not really. I just woke up. I actually woke up feeling great. I felt like I took a power nap. I was like,
yeah.
I remember waking up and the nurse was like holding my head up. She's like, "Are you okay?" Or like, because like apparently like my head almost cracked against the wall, and she was she kind of like caught me before because I was sitting down, but like she went to like catch me. But yeah, she was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I feel great. I feel like I just took a power nap." And she's like, "All right, well, just stay here for a minute. Let me get you some like orange juice or something." And but yeah, I didn't really feel like sweaty or like woozy or anything.
When it happened to me, I woke up in literally it felt like it felt like I pissed myself, except that I pissed myself over my entire body. Like I don't know how to explain that, like other than the fact that I was like drenched, cold sweat, grossness, and it didn't.
Delicious.
During most of my paranormal experiences, my consciousness is usually in my head.
Well, that's where like the conscious like so the brain is essentially like our consciousness could arguably be like through our entire body, because when you see a ghost or an apparition, usually it's you see a head, arms, legs, a body. So like it's like it's almost like a spirit is manifesting itself as it remembers itself.
So essentially what you're saying is if it's like an amorphous total body energy, how do you capture that on a disc?
That's the question.
Can't.
And here's another thing that I think it was during one of the last times that a guillotine was used for an execution. There was a man who was a scientist.
Mm-hmm. I know the story you're talking about.
Yeah, he said, "I will blink as many times as I can."
No, that's not what he said. I'll blink twice.
I thought it was like he'll blink as many times as he can, and then however when he stops blinking, that's when the brain is no longer active.
No, it was if I am able to see things and if I am still there in my mind, I will blink twice to let everybody know. He blinked 27 times.
Yeah, it was like 30 seconds that he was blinking.
Yeah.
That must be such a strange thing to see, just a disembodied head just blinking.
Now, have you seen a picture of what the spine actually looks like?
It looks like just a stack of...
It's huge. It's as tall as like, it's as tall as the CEO from NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Right. He's got it on like, a table, but it's
black and red, right?
It's taller than him.
Yeah.
Now, the human mind supposedly can holds
I forget how many petabytes it is.
Yeah. So
what?
This is actually the spine right here that we're talking about.
Yeah.
This is the new one, the NVLink. And so human brain capacity in
2.5 petabytes, which is 2.5 million gigabytes.
2.5 million gigabytes. 2.5 petabytes. Now, that's 2.5 million gigabytes. This thing only moves 900 gigs a second.
Yeah.
So it's still nowhere close to the actual capacity of information transference that a human being can do in his own body. Because this is a conversation that this is a conversation I had with Rich. And
how's he doing?
Your friends we're in the group chat. We had this conversation fucking years ago.
I don't talk in the group chat. It's all
and
memes.
My point to him was that because we inhabit our entire body, that our thoughts are instantaneous. Like there is no loading. There is no loading to what moves my finger.
Mm-hmm.
And
you just do it.
You just do it. It's not like I'm not pre-thinking my hand movements when I'm talking about it. Matter of fact, they're reactionary that goes along with my words. So
well, I think that's what consciousness is. I think that our consciousness is
the embodiment in our body.
Yeah.
The embodiment of our body.
It's the energy in our body, the electricity that fires off in our neurons to.
I don't think it's electricity.
To snap my finger, to make me, understand and hear everything's. And
I don't think it's electricity. I think electricity is the closest element that we can compare to, but I don't think it's electricity.
Well, that's you ever hear of the guy Dynamo Jack?
I was born in 1985, Holden. My dad was born in 1957.
You ever hear of that guy?
Who?
Dynamo Jack.
Dynamo Jack.
Look up a guy named Dynamo Jack or DJ. He was a guy that these guys were looking into and researching, who was a healer or he was a doctor, but he was also a healer. He was but he used chi or human energy or bioenergy to do things like acupressure and acupuncture, but it was with his own energy. He wasn't really using like the needles or anything, or sometimes he would just poke someone on a receptor on the nervous system, and their arms would just start moving, and he's holding down on this point and their arm just starts going. Like, it was a really interesting documentary.
Yeah.
If I find the full video, I'll send it to you.
Ring of Fire and Indonesian Odyssey. So you can actually manipulate muscles and musculature with electricity, but I don't think that's how our bodies work. Or if it is, we use such a low level that it doesn't make sense though. It doesn't make sense. Even if it was along the nerves and the neurological system, they don't work like wires.
Well, that's kind of what he was explaining, because they would say like, oh, this is behaving like electricity, and they would bring up like a
Edgar Allan Poe is one of my favorite authors.
This meter, I forget what they're called, but like a meter that reads electricity, and they would try to get a reading on him when he would be projecting this energy and
EMF, electromagnetic field.
Yeah, something like that. And even DJ was like, it's not electricity though. The like it's chi, and it's bioenergy. It's not, but he was also like doing, like, he was able to light up an LED with his fingertips. So they're like, okay, this is behaving like electricity, but it's not electricity. So it was a really interesting documentary. I gotta find it, but
no, it's powering like electricity, but it's not acting like magnetic fields.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like direct energy. So when you turn on a switch, right? If you took a switch and a power source right on that switch, right?
And then you took like the AC and then DC.
And then you took a wire, the length of the speed of light, right? And then brought that to a bulb and made that circuit. When you hit that switch, even though, because electricity is supposed to move at the same speed as light, even though that wire is as long as the speed of light, that light will turn on instantaneously. And that's because of the electromagnetic field that the wire actually produces. There is a theory in electronics, in electric, that it's not the power going through the cable that actually delivers power to the device, that it's actually the electromagnetic field that is actually on the outside of the wire that passes the electricity through it.
Wait, say that one more time for me. Hold on, I'm trying to wrap my brain around that one. It's not the power source.
I'm not going to do it any justice, but Veritasium. Have you ever heard of Veritasium?
I have not.
He does. He does some deep dives into this sort of really fringe sciencey shit.
I like it.
Is it dialect? No. That's what it is. The electric field of a uniformly charged wire. There's actually a Gaussian surface.
Full screen this bitch so I can actually kind of.
Yeah, this is going to be like really hard to see. So consider a long straight wire which carries the uniform charge per unit of length. I forget what Greek letter that is. I think it's alpha. We expect the electric field generated by such a charge distribution to possess cylindrical symmetry. We also expect the field to point radially in a cylindrical sense away from the wire, assuming that the wire is positively charged. Let us draw a cylindrical Gaussian surface, coaxial, the wire, the radius. Yeah, this is getting into the levels of math that I'm not comfortable with.
Yeah, I'm not a big math guy either. Everywhere perpendicular to the curved surface of the glasses. So it's essentially saying that the wire, there's like electricity around
the wire. Yeah.
I think we've kind of like we haven't really done like a deep dive into it, but we've spoken on it before where it's like, we've talked about how there's like energy in the air, and
yeah,
that was like one of the things that like Tesla would work on.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What's very interesting is that microwave radiation, light, sound, and electricity are all forms of radiation, but are actually, I believe, all on the exact same spectrum.
Can't be.
They're just all different frequencies of each other.
You said you read that somewhere?
No, it's something that
that's just that you believe.
Yes. There is ionizing radiation and non-ionizing radiation, and it's the non-ionizing radiation. So radio waves are from 10 hertz to, I don't know how many that is. But yeah, radio waves and gamma rays are actually all on the same spectrum. They're just different levels. Here's one actually talking about that. Come on, I want to see a big picture. Come on, really?
They said nope.
Yep. See, I was right. I wasn't wrong. They're all on the same. They're all on the same radioactive spectrum. There's non-ionizing radiation, ionizing radiation. It goes from ultra low frequencies all the way up until gamma rays, which are high frequencies. But
well, I know that like we're almost constantly being pelted with
radiation,
some sort of radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's X-rays or radio waves or fucking Wi-Fi.
The sun produces light radiation. The visible light is a form of radiation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Microwaves. Radio waves. There's radio waves all around us. All around us. At all times. And has been since
the first radio broadcast.
Yeah, since the first radio broadcast. You didn't know that they were all on the same spectrum? That essentially, if you can manipulate a low frequency radio wave, eventually it could become light. That's why they're trying to make like laser like laser radios, because you could fire information at a distance way farther than anything else.
That would be interesting. That you know what?
And the only
one
ones,
I think I was actually watching a video. I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson actually who was talking about it, because I watched a lot of his videos.
The only rays that are like undeniably harmful to us are gamma rays. They're the only ones that like outright kill us. X-rays are kind of damaging too, but you need way more exposure to them. And because of the firmament or ozone layer, whatever you want to fucking call it, the electromagnetic layer of the planet that protects us from the sun's rays, the sun actually produces X-rays and gamma rays, but we don't get them
because they bounce off
because of that, right? Because we're in that field.
Well, that's a whole nother thing why a lot of people think we haven't gone to space, because if we actually had gone to space, we'd be cooked in our spacesuits.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we've actually gone to space?
I don't know.
Are like the people who are in the International Space Station just within the magnetic sphere, so they're protected?
Possibly.
When they do those spacewalks?
Possibly, because I forget what the name of that field actually is. It's like the something Earth's
Field of Dreams,
magnetic field. What it's actually called.
How does he keep getting work?
also known as the geomagnetic fields, is a protective shield surrounding our planet generated by the movement of molten iron in the Earth's core. This magnetic field extends far out into space, forming a region called the magnetosphere, and plays a crucial role in deflecting harmful solar wind and cosmic radiation, which could otherwise damage the atmosphere and potentially hinder the development of life. Is the International Space Station in space in the magnetosphere? Yes, the International Space Station is located within the Earth magnetosphere. The magnetosphere acts as a protective shield deflecting harmful radiation.
Interesting. So we may not have gone to the moon.
I don't know.
Because there are people that are always saying like, oh, like, you know, we got these telescopes and we can't see, you know, any flags on the moon and stuff, which is like,
yeah, that's like trying to see an ant from the fucking Empire State Building.
Exactly. That's you're not gonna see the flag there, and we have
with a naked eye, by the way.
Yeah, with a telescope. Even with a high powered telescope, we're still not going to be able to. Now,
supposedly, I don't know if the video is edited or not. I have seen a guy who has a super high powered. Oh, that hit a funny tube. Zoom in onto the moon and actually bring up where they landed and show the footprints and all the stuff. So I've seen that. I didn't do that myself.
Yeah, there's supposedly a few flags on the moon, and I think there's like 4. And we have a lunar reconnaissance satellite that actually orbits the moon. I think there's at least one. There might be others, satellites that we have orbiting the moon that also continue to study it. But apparently through the images that the satellite takes around the moon, there are points where you can see, it's like an above view, but because it's orbiting it, but like you can see the flag there, and you can even see the remnants of like the rovers and the even like I think you can even like if you zoom in really close, you can even see like boot prints.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Now, could those be, you know, Neil Armstrong's boot prints?
One of the
or could they be the people that are living there right now?
Yeah, right. I don't have access to the camera equipment that NASA actually used. I don't have access to their, their space equipment, any of their things. I've never actually been anywhere near it. I've never done any research on it. It's one of the reasons why I don't like talking about it. Supposedly, once you get out of the magnetosphere, any form of like, if you take camera film and you get too close to something that's emitting radiation, it will wipe the camera film, period.
Yeah.
So if you go past the magnetosphere, it's kind of theoretically possible that there was no way for them to possibly get those images back to us.
Yeah. Because they had taken pictures and like film on the moon.
Right. Now, I don't know. I'm sort of neutral on it. It doesn't really affect me either way.
They have encased a camera in a thing that could block radiation,
like maybe. Lead. Yeah, we've known about that. We've been doing that. Why wouldn't we? You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's an interesting topic. I love talking about stuff like that because I'm actually I love anything that has to do with space.
I've also heard where everybody believes that space is cold. Space is not cold. Space is hot.
Yes,
it's incredibly hot, but it doesn't transfer thermal energy that well because there's no substance like the way it is on Earth.
Yeah.
So you would feel like you're freezing while you're burning to death from the sun. There's also pockets of extreme heat, like, you know, when you're like walking down the street and you just kind of like you go by an area that like doesn't have a whole lot of wind and it's just really fucking hot.
Yeah.
There's things like that exist in the blackness of space, but instead of it being just sort of like a couple degrees warmer, it's like thousands to millions of degrees warmer that like you just pass through it and just turn to dust. It's a real thing.
Imagine like just flying through space and all of a sudden you just it's like the equivalent of like a space pothole.
You hit space turbulence. So yeah, it's like go on.
All of a sudden the entire hull and you are just dusted. Space is fucking terrifying.
Space is a very, very scary place that I don't think that we're anywhere near prepared to deal with.
We're not. I think what we need to do is we need to finish discovering the rest of our own planet before we fucking fuck around elsewhere. Like we don't. What is it like? How much of our ocean is actually like? Do we know of it?
Like 10%.
Exactly. How much have we discovered of our oceans? Humans have explored and charted a small fraction of Earth's oceans. While the exact percentage varies depending on how explored is defined, estimates generally range between 5 to 26% mapped, with less than 0.001% visually observed.
So yeah, we took pictures of the surface, so we know the surface is there.
Yeah. That's the thing. And then like on top of which really leads me to believe that like we need to stop looking up and start looking down. We need to look at our oceans because we have generally like the entire Earth above water is mapped. And
yeah,
but we
mostly not really. Not all of
it.
No? Because there's whole sections of areas that humans have never been to. This was sort of my point of when I was talking about, like, you understand the size of LA.
Yeah.
Right. If you took every human on the face of the planet and you put them shoulder to shoulder, they would only take up a part of LA.
Yeah, I've read that.
Granted, LA is large. Sure. We're talking about we're talking about numbers that people can't comprehend.
The entire population.
The entire population of the world. If we stood not crammed on top of each other, just stood shoulder to shoulder with each other, we would only take up LA.
Which is wild.
Which is why
there's a lot of like.
Which is why I don't believe in depopulation. But go ahead.
Yeah, that too. There's a huge section of like northern Russia and northern Canada that's just like
never been touched. Granted, extremely hostile to live in, but Australia's another place. And I understand that it is sort of like very inclement weather, but they're all on the coast. Populated areas of, there it is, Australia. That's it right there. You have this entire area. It's mapped, but nobody fucking goes there. Nobody fucking lives there.
Wow.
The major cities are the blue areas. Doot, 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 doot. Very remote Australia, 0.9% population. There's fucking nobody in the red areas. Love you too, buddy.
Wild.
Go sit down and watch a movie. You. It's not good night. Just go chill out on the couch.
It's also crazy, but yeah, like I think it's interesting how we've barely scratched the surface of our oceans, and I think it was like sometime during like the third or fourth quarter of last year where a lot of people were reporting pretty much there'd be USOs and what looked like extraterrestrial crafts like coming out of the ocean. Largest population and largest metro area.
I want to see if we can get a heat map of. There you go. Just. So tiny. What?
It's just like how you're trying to find this, like a heat map of like the population of the world, and it's just like
of Asia, yeah, and it's just all corrupted links and shit like that. But basically Northern Asia, like here, if you can see this picture right here, this is Moscow. This is the rest of Russia. It's just empty. There's nobody fucking there.
Yeah.
Central Asia, nobody's there. Population density, people per kilometer squared. This is 0.25 in that kilometer squared.
Yeah.
There's fucking nobody there.
Yeah, depopulation is not something that should even be discussed.
There are
more vacant homes in the world than there are homeless people.
Yeah. Sure. Yes. I don't want to get into the greater philosophy of that situation, but we want to go to planets and terraform them in inhospitable areas, and we won't even terraform the north of Russia.
Yeah.
Or Australia. Or Greenland.
We're talking about let's colonize Mars. Let's fix Russia.
Let's learn how to live in Russia.
Imagine that. Let's figure out Australia.
Let's learn how to live in Nunavut, Canada. Like Halden said, I'd be interested in living there. Would you though? Would you?
At least they're like super nice out there.
You got to be. You may not see another person for a long fucking time. You don't know when you're going to rely on that person you just met. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Population heat map of the U.S. You know, this is another one that I absolutely love. Is that the red areas is where everybody fucking lives. There is all of fucking that to live in. Yeah. Granted, some of it's desert, but.
Well, did you ever see the missing 411?
Yeah.
How like all the missing persons locations are directly overlapping.
You can overlay it over top of the natural cave systems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at this. So we talk about the American population. The American population has 330 million people in it. And they're all right here. And right here.
Yeah. Dude, we got to get the fuck out of Jersey.
I want to move to Wyoming. A buddy of mine says in Nebraska smells like cow shit from beginning to end. He used to do the trailer moves. So people would they would drive their trailers to California, and then he would go and pick them up and drive them back when the season was over. And
my res is at Montana.
You're up in Montana. There ain't nobody in Montana. I want to move to Montana. Montana's gorgeous.
Shout out to the homies at Fort Belknap. Groven and Cree represent.
But this is exactly why, right here, why, like, it seems like the world only, when you hear about people talking about America, it's like California, New Jersey, Massachusetts, you hear about Boston and Florida, and that's it. Some people are from Texas. Yeah, some, but there's this whole section of Texas that nobody fucking lives in. And yeah, Colorado, New Mexico, Utah, and Arizona, they're the hot ass bullshit, and Nevada. They're the hot area of this.
It's funny how you got like New Mexico is like right there, hot as balls, and then just above that in Colorado, you have like, you think frozen mountains.
Where?
But they're like right on top of each other.
What are we talking about?
Like
Where?
Colorado, you think like Colorado, you think like ski resorts and shit.
Well, that's because this area right here is a mountainous area.
Yeah.
There's basically like 2 to 3 different land types that humans will congregate around. 1 is the ocean, 2 is lakes, 3 is mountains. The Rocky Mountains cut right through here.
Yeah, nobody really cares to visit, like, when you're like not from America, nobody's like, you know, talking about Utah.
That's because that's where all the Mormons are. It is Salt Lake City. That's where all the Mormons. You want to talk about a wild ass religion?
I don't.
New Jersey, Ocean. I even got it. I even clicked the right one. Ocean County, population 630,000 people in 915 square miles.
That's wild.
Here you go. Now let's go find Montana. Let's just pick one of the white ones. 972 people in 4,000, almost 5,000 square miles.
Well, if you want to film a post-apocalyptic movie, that's where you want to go.
No, that's where you film all your westerns. That's where everybody's filming all the westerns because it's basically like untouched territory.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Wee wah. Atlantic County, 273,000 in 672 square miles. There is more people in Ocean County. That's ridiculous. You're in Ocean County, right?
Yeah, let's just put our
I don't give a fuck. What, you come find me? These are all these people I know.
Yeah, but VODs and shit.
Whatever. I don't care. Kill me.
Kill me if you want, but not like, you know, that, but like, you know, our kids, you know,
they got to get through me first. Aroostook County, Maine. That's where I want to move. Right here. 67,000 But this is so big. This is like 6,000 square miles.
Wow.
So big. There's nobody up there. 9 people per square mile. It's so beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there's
That's
there's almost 700 people per square mile in Ocean County. That's so ridiculous.
guarantee a large chunk of that is because of Lakewood.
Yeah, possibly. It's also it's a vacation area. So like where I'm at, there's it's nothing but vacation homes. It's tons and tons and tons of vacation homes.
Yeah, but I don't think vacation homes count. There's someone in an Idris.
Are you playing fucking Star Citizen as I'm fucking talking to you?
What do you think I've been doing this whole time? I'm still talking to you, aren't I?
You are such a dick. You are such a dick.
Why? You're not. I told you I was playing before we even started. You didn't even hop on. You don't even want to play with me, and I'm the dick. I told him what I was doing. He'll be back. They always come back. We'll wait. He probably just had to go pee.
I give you my full and undivided attention, and you're fucking playing video games as I'm talking to you.
Do you have to go pee?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I knew it. See, I told you. And for the record, it's been like 50-50.
Yeah, exactly. I can tell. I was wondering why, like, I'm talking to you and I can see, this is the thing. This is my fucking trauma. I can tell when people are paying attention to me or not.
This is my trauma.
I'm going to shit in a box and mail it to you.
I could just return to sender.
It's cool. I'm going to put a returning address on it, but whatever. So, okay. Got the most viewers that we've had in like in a while. And what do you want to talk about, Steve?
So, one of the things I wanted to bring up, because I was talking about kind of, I think we brought it up before at the last episode, the gaming industry, how you have games like Call of Duty and Activision. They're putting out a different game every fucking year. At this point, I think it's been pretty much every year. Actually, how many Call of Duty?
I hate AI too, Holden. You should probably see a doctor. Probably get a hormone panel.
So as of 2025, there are 23 mainline Call of Duty games, including Call of Duty Mobile and Warzone. The latest Call of Duty game is Black Ops 6, which was released in October of 2024. Yeah, it's just like every fucking year. 2003, 2005, 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19. They had 2 in 2019. Call of Duty Mobile and Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Didn't release a new one. Oh wait, nope, I stand corrected. 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Yeah, they've released a game every year since 2025. They skipped 2024. But it's just like games like game companies like that release games so frequently. But it's just like it's the same shit every time. It's a cookie cutter game.
I don't play them.
People keep just eating that shit up. But then there's like fucking like Halo. Halo doesn't release games that all that often, but I mean it's I don't know, I think it's quality over quantity. And then they have the fucking nerve to charge like $60-$70 for a game. And then on top of that, it's like, hey, spend a little bit more money and you can get this like battle pass where you can unlock all these skins to make your character look a little cooler, or you can just spend the money straight up $20, $15, $40 here and there to get to make your character look like a guy from a completely different franchise. It's becoming Fortnite. And don't get me started on Fortnite, but I don't know, man. Gaming kind of sucks. It's not as fun as it used to be.
Gaming sucks. Life sucks. Food sucks.
Music sucks.
Music sucks.
The food is terrible for
We're
you now.
stuck in a repurposed, repackaged version of 1999. And it's 2025, and the years keep fucking going, and they don't stop coming, and they just keep going, and they don't stop coming, and back to something, and then you hit the ground running.
Your brain gets smart, but your head
gets dumb. So much to do, so much to say.
I can't believe he got 1 million subscribers on YouTube just for singing that song over and over other songs. Did I ever tell you about that? John Sedano, Johnny Suds, guy that used to play drums in Me vs. I. He has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I think somebody just accidentally unplugged John. He's doing a really good job at not moving.
Steve, what is the difference between a sort center and a fulfillment center?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
One thing's put things on other places, the other one you feel fulfilled. Steve, what is the definition of indecent? Your balls are slapping her ass. That's when you know you're indecent.
Oh my god. This cop arrested a psychic midget, but he escaped. Now there's a small medium at large.
You know what, dude? I think it's the best one you ever told.
He was found going down a ladder. That's a little condescending.
Where? You ain't been writing these on your own. I think Halden actually has a serious question for you. His family wants him to move to a fulfillment center, probably because they want him to feel more fulfilled. What's the difference? What's the difference between a sort center and a fulfillment center? Well, the sort center, you take the products off the shelf, or you put I've never been there. I never
literally we unload them from trucks.
Unload the truck and then you put them in the things. And then the other one is you take them off the things and you put them in the boxes that people asked for.
Yeah.
I'm smart. S-M-O-R-T.
Or am I fucking dumb?
S-M-O-R-T. Smart. I love that Raven just shows up. I'm glad she hasn't gotten tired of us.
She's still going strong, man. Hats off to her. we're somewhat tolerable with our shenanigans.
At this point, I want somebody to come on Kick and just start talking shit.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Just go ahead. Just somebody, anybody, just start talking shit. I'm stir crazy for a different work experience. That's pretty much the same complaint that I hear from everybody who works at Amazon. Is that after a certain amount of time, you just get absolutely fed up with it.
Well, because it's so repetitive. Like, it's not a hard job. It's just you're doing the same.
There's no level of
that's just like
purpose.
It takes. You're literally sitting there with a scanner going beep. You place it on a pallet, you scan it again, it beeps, and then you scan the barcode on the floor for the pallet. You're like, yep, that's there now. And you do that for 8 hours.
12 hours.
Minimum.
Steph used to do like 10, 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
I don't think Steve can do a call because he's got his that would be just too much attention to split up.
Yeah, I can't.
He's got the game. He's got me.
I'm not on Star Citizen anymore.
You're not on Star Citizen anymore?
No.
All right.
No, now I'm playing Halo.
You're such a douchebag.
I'm kidding. I'm not actually playing Halo.
You're a fucking 10-foot long douche noodle.
It's called a penis.
Douche noodle. No. You're not even the good part. You're not even the part that goes in the vagina. You're the one that connects it to the bag. You have a purpose, but you're just a noodle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fair because then I'm not like covered in as much yeast.
Yummy. Come on. You like sourdough.
Not anymore. Yikes.
I didn't think it was a joke, Halden. I can't imagine that it would be. That job sucks.
I didn't know.
Soul crushing.
I loved it. I was a TDR and it was great.
TDR.
Trailer doc release.
Okay.
So I was pretty much the guy that like when the trucks would back up to the gate, I had a little like Kindle Fire thing, and I would I would be like at a radio, be like, all right, this trailer's ready at this door. I'd go to that door and I'd look through the little window. Yep, there's a trailer there. I'd bring up the gate, put the ramp down, make sure the numbers line up with all the stuff.
Did you have to pee in bottles?
No. That was the cool thing about the spot that I was at, because there was never like, they were never really like strict on like bathroom breaks or anything. They were just like, it's like, hey, I'll be right back. Gotta use the bathroom. Like, all right.
I thought the news was saying that they were making people poop in bags.
No, I'm sure some fulfillment centers were actually doing that.
I thought people had to like run like 10 miles to go to the bathroom, and they had to do it on their break. Otherwise they couldn't go to the bathroom. Thought there was all these like, employee.
Nah.
Dude, when I worked in fucking landscaping, I used to shit in a bucket in a trailer because there was no toilets.
God, that's awful. I'm so sorry.
It was amazing. I enjoyed it. Nothing's better than locking eyes with one of your clients, just staring at them.
Oh shit! No. Christ.
You hold eye contact while I finish.
Comfortable. Oh God. Oh shit. Oh no, thank you. You hold eye contact while I finish. Jesus. Yeah, I've never had a job where I had like where they were just like
I used to
timing your breaks.
I used to work at jobs that were so busy and so just like slam jamming busy that you couldn't pee for 8 hours. You just couldn't. You couldn't leave the bar. You couldn't go anywhere else. You had to just keep running. Like that's the part that I always thought was like funny, is people are like, we had to do all this. And like, don't get me wrong. Like if the option is there and you have the ability to do so, then yeah, that is an employee rights violation. Sure. But like I worked jobs where you literally couldn't, not because you weren't allowed, but because if you stepped away, your workload would just triplicate. You would just be buried. The club was like that. The club from like 8 o'clock to midnight, you couldn't get out from behind a bar. You were surrounded. When I first started working there, it was just slammed, 5 deep. There was no, hey, I'll be right back, I'm going to take a break. No, there was that. You couldn't.
Damn.
But for the money, it was worth it. Now, if that was for like $15 an hour flat rate, no, I probably wouldn't have done that job. $1,500 a night. Yeah, I did that job.
I think probably. No, yeah, I don't think I ever had a job where it was like that. Maybe when I was at Spencer's Corporate, because there was a time when like even if you like went up to go to lunch, like you would take your lunch break, but because you're getting emails from people in different parts of the world, like you'll come back from lunch and suddenly you'll have like 120 emails.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I can't even like get back to the work that I was just doing, because now I have to go through all these emails and have these conversations. And I'm like responding to an email that was like, I respond to an email and then like 50 emails later, they're like, we already like settled that. I'm like, I'm going down the list. Like,
that's just when I got to you in that queue list, man. Relax.
Yeah. They're like, why are you just like, we decided on this like a half hour ago. I'm like, I just got off lunch, my guy. Yeah, most of my jobs were not terrible. I used to like being a valet. Being a valet was pretty cool. And I fucking, dude, that was my, I just constantly running, because I was running a lot and I was losing weight doing it. And the faster and harder I ran, the faster I would bring up a car, and I would have a higher pickup or drop off count, which meant more tips. And it was great. I loved it. Hell, I might even go back to doing it. I just don't want to work in that fucking city again.
You don't have to. There's plenty of places. Go get a fucking job in Long Branch.
Yeah.
It's a rich ass area where they have valets. Driving fucking Maybachs and shit.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I was never one of those guys that was like, oh, let me pull a Ferris Bueller, you know, let me go for a joyride. Because I always like parked someone's car as if like.
Halden, what job do you actually do, bud?
I'm actually gonna AFK for a minute. I'll be right back.
Oh, you suck. I wanted you to finish your statement. I just wanted to answer his question or ask his question.
This guy is making my experience much more soul crushing. Steve, what job is better than the one I'm at?
Did you look into the transcribe me like I told you?
Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't think it's the job. I think it's just like the people you're working with.
That is a big part of it.
Yeah. But be right back. I gotta use the restroom.
The people you work with can take a job that's like absolute shit and make it a blast. And then they can take a job that's an absolute blast and turn it to shit, which is what ended up happening to me. Because everything was fun. Everything was great until they wanted to get their politics involved. Fair enough. I won't argue with that. Can you describe it without being specific? Can you just say like what department it is? Like what the action is? Are you a loader? Are you a fluffer? You a janitor? Does anybody have anything they want to talk about? I'm at a loss. I don't want to talk about work. I don't work. To be perfectly honest with you, Halden, I don't think that they're in my work history that I've done. I've done a lot of different jobs. I don't think any of them were a dream job. I don't believe in the thing of a dream job. I think that's a scam that people sell, that the school system sells you, that there's some sort of slavery out there that you'll enjoy. More than others. I just think that working is. Please direct message me your job recommendation. That message got lost. Okay, yeah, I will. I think work is bullshit. I wish there was a better answer for it, but unfortunately, because of the way that things are, that even if you buy and own your own home, you're still paying rent to the tax man. So there's no way to like not participate in the work world. I just think you got to find something. I think the biggest problem is you can't have the fear. No worries, dude. It's I'll DM you. I don't know. I lost my train of thought. wish I could find something that provided me with money that I enjoyed. I'm very analytical, so I tend to like those kinds of jobs. That was something that I actually really enjoyed. But I've put in 1,000 managers applications and I've never gotten a single like answer back. Indeed, LinkedIn, I've done all that stuff. But that's just me, my experience. I get that. And if you're at that fucking point, don't be afraid to leave it. I would recommend finding another job first before you do leave it. But I think the biggest problem is that people get into situations and we were sold this idea of the American dream that you got to have a house and a car and all this stuff. And basically all those things essentially end up leading to handcuffs. That's one of the things I realized when I got into the last job that I had. Was it was nice that I had like all these things. I had a family, I had a car, I had like a brand new car, I had a home, but I was sort of hamstrung because I was in a position of pretty high earning and that I couldn't just walk away from it. I was in a toxic relationship with my job and I just wanted to get away. It was legitimately killing me. It literally got to the point where I had no other choice because the doctors told me like, if you keep working this way, you're going to die. So I was like, okay, I have to stop. Now I got to figure out some other way to fucking make money. And I literally can't, I can't have a workload, which is a very large workload, and I literally can't handle it anymore physically. Did the stream freeze?